On this week's episode of The Splash, we have the newest board members, the Party for Parks, and Comedy and Cops. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, also that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
Hi, I'm Brooke Allen. Happy New Year. Welcome back to The Splash. The West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce recently held their installation of board members. Ryan Younglove brings us the story.
Every year at Notting Hill, West Bloomfield, there's a celebration for the installation of board members. We're here today to see the new board.
It was a great West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce installation, and for the new members and the newly elected president, and everybody here seems so happy, especially so early in the morning. We really appreciate the Judge Diane D. Agostini that swore us all in and makes it a little bit more memorable. And it's a great way to start the new year and have some new goals and initiatives.
I'm always glad to see that so many people come out and support, the new board, and everybody's been telling me that they're, things were going to rocket this year, and really try to get some more participation from not just the board members, but from the members of the community. We want to get more people involved in things.
The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce is the voice of business in West Bloomfield, Kiko Harbor, Orchard Lake, and Sylvan Lake. So anything that we can do to be of benefit to the businesses to help them grow and also be more integrated into our community, because we know that they help support the schools, the roads, and our community.
With the installation of this year's board, the Chamber of Commerce is looking forward to having another successful year. This has been Ryan Younglove reporting for The Splash.
You can find more information on our website at civiccentertv.com/chamberboard2020. Next, we hear about a holiday party that celebrated the people of WB Parks as well as one of their leaders. Jay Kustash stopped by the event to bring us the story.
WB Parks is celebrating the holidays and a special team member right here at Wonderland Lanes.
Today we're having our holiday staff appreciation. The commission is gracious enough to let our really hardworking staff off for the afternoon. And so we come here and we're doing a little bowling, having some lunch, and doing a couple of games like, of course, Parks and Recreation would do. But yeah, having a great time. We do a white elephant, which is always gets very interesting because we have a lot of creative people. And then also the commission also hands out cards for our staff members.
I enjoy working with West Bloomfield Parks, and today especially I get to work and play with people in our department that I never get to see. And so it's nice to be able to bowl next to a coworker that is out in the parks all day where I'm in the office.
During the event, WB Parks also celebrated the work and an award nomination for their coworker, Kelly Heyer.
So our teammate Kelly Heyer, who was our recreation superintendent, she received, and we were part of that nomination process, Recreation Leadership Award for the M Parks organization, which is our state organization for Parks and Recreation. So out of about over 2,000 members, she was nominated and received this award, so we're really excited. We are really blessed here in West Bloomfield with our residents and how much they support us, and what a great team. We will continue to make them proud, and proud to be in this township, and come out and see us in the parks.
It was a fun and festive day for everybody at WB Parks. And reporting for The Splash, I'm Jay Kustash.
For more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/parksparty. Later in the show, we see some charitable comedy and a happening interview with a leader in the community.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
This hour of programming is brought to you in part by Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. 10 years ago, Henry Ford Health System celebrated the grand opening of its West Bloomfield Hospital. Since then, they've celebrated innovative new technologies, medical breakthroughs, and unique approaches to health and healing. To learn more about Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, visit henryford.com/West Bloomfield 10. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is a proud sponsor of Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for being with us. The West Bloomfield Police Department held a charity comedy show for the people of the greater West Bloomfield area. Tyler Kieft has the story.
What's the deal with people who say, pardon my French? Am I right? It's like, blame the profanity that you're using on the language you're speaking. Am I right? That's just, hello. Hi, I'm at the Berman Center for the Performing Arts in West Bloomfield Township, joining the West Bloomfield community and the Police Foundation to support the families of people who keep us safe every day. For many years, Kurt Lawson and his team at the West Bloomfield Police Foundation have dedicated their time and resources to helping the families of police officers in our community. At this year's Comedy for a Cause, the focus was changed from simply helping their fellow officers to also supporting the families in the community of people that they protect and serve each and every day.
So the West Bloomfield Police Foundation was established originally to help officers in need and their families. So if we had an officer that was injured or killed, that we'd be able to support the family. And you know, with the community support, we've been so successful that now we've branched out and we help the greater West Bloomfield community. And we've actually spent close to $300,000 helping families within the greater West Bloomfield area. So it's been a success story, and that's because of the team that we have in place in the foundation.
And just as the community has come out to support the foundation over the past 4 years at Comedy for a Cause and far beyond, the Police Foundation now comes to their side, providing assistance to other community organizations throughout Greater West Bloomfield.
So anytime we find that an officer or his family is in need, we step up and we give whatever assistance they may need. But we get a lot of requests from the community, from families. Maybe they need help with the holidays, or their children need clothes for school, or maybe they need food, and that's why we participate in Blessings in a Backpack. So I'm super proud to have been part of this organization, the foundation, for the last 10 years. We got a great team in place, and I think the future looks really bright.
As serious as the programs and causes that the Police Foundation supports and advocates for are, for the last 4 years, they have taken one night in December to kick back and share a few laughs as they join the community in showing their support and generosity.
Well, in a lot of ways, I think it's important that we humanize the badge. So we have a lot of police officers that are here and police personnel, and they get to intermingle with the community. And, we need to come together in this day and age, and we come together tonight and we have a few laughs. So I think it's a win-win.
Well, there are certainly a lot of jokes thrown around at Comedy for a Cause, but one thing that the West Bloomfield community showed that they take very seriously is their support of families of our first responders. At the Berman Center for the Performing Arts, I'm Tyler Kieft, reporting for The Splash.
To learn more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/comedycause19. And now it's time for the Civic Center TV event update, where we provide you with upcoming events going on in our community. And for a look at additional events, visit civiccentertv.com/events. Dispose of prescription drugs with Operation Medicine Cabinet, happening year-round in West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, and Orchard Lake. This project takes place at the police departments of the 3 communities. Disposing of drugs is completely anonymous, open 24/7 in West Bloomfield, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Keego Harbor, and Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Orchard Lake. For more information, visit oakgov.com or call your local police. Roll on over to the library for Rock and Read every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 10:30. You and your child can spend the morning with books, finger plays, music, story times, and fun. The event is recommended for children ages 5 or younger. No registration is needed. For additional information, go to westbloomfieldlibrary.org. The West Bloomfield Library not only has stories, but they also have songs. Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 10:30, visit the library with your child to enjoy some dual language stories and songs that will help lay an early foundation for learning a second language for kids. Not only will there be songs and stories, but also fun activities and games. Registration is not required. For additional information, you can go to westbloomfieldlibrary.org. Get your babies, get your books, because Books and Babies is back at the library. Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., the West Bloomfield Public Library is hosting their Books and Babies event. These events help introduce your babies to books to help stimulate their brain development. There's no registration or cost required. For more information, visit westbloomfieldlibrary.org. And that's it for this week's highlights. You can find more events online at civiccentertv.com/events and see everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I'll sit down with Ed Haapala from the Water Utilities Department.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
You want it, you got it. Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of your local municipal meetings for years. Now you can catch a replay of those meetings the following day at 1 o'clock and again on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. If that's not enough, you can also visit civiccentertv.com/meetings to view a whole list of on-demand Township Board meetings and keep up to date on the most recent developments in your local government. Giving you more, it's Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm joined this week by Ed Haapala, Utilities Director for Water Utilities, Department of the Charter Township of West Bloomfield. And thank you, Ed, so much for being here. It is all about EGLE and water compliance. Can you explain?
Certainly. Thanks, Brooke. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, which was once referred to as the DEQ, has what's called a Safe Drinking Water Act. It's Public Act 399. And it requires all public water supply systems to protect and safeguard drinking water, not only at its business, commercial entities throughout the township, but also all residential homes, as far as its garden hose spigots, so the connections on the outside of the home, and also protection of any automatic underground irrigation systems. So this is something that's been going on in West Bloomfield. We started this program in 2016. It is a state-mandated program, and so we are required once every 5 years to have a resident who has a underground irrigation system, a sprinkler system, to have its pressure vacuum breaker and valve tested.
Okay. So what is the percentage of homes that have underground water sprinkler systems?
We're finding it's about every 6 out of 10 actually has a system. And we're finding this out through physical inspections, and actually looking at yards and finding out where all the heads are and devices, and as well as looking at, since it's a two-part program, it's not just protection from back siphonage out of your underground sprinkler system. It's also as far as your garden hose spigot connections that come out of the house. Those devices also need to be protected.
And some homes could have quite a few of those, right? I mean...
Yeah, typically we find your typical home will have, out of 4 sides of the home, 2 out of the 4.
Okay.
Some 3, every now and then 4,
right.
All 4 sides. And some you'll find are protected with an atmospheric pressure breaker. These are a non-testable device. If they have already installed, you're good to go.
Oh, okay.
We see them. We let you know you're good to go.
Okay.
But if it's not, and you have a standard, maybe old school spigot that comes out and looks like this, it does require this hose bib vacuum breaker device to be purchased and threaded on to the spigot and just left in place. And there's no testing involved. It's a one-time shot.
You just put it on and you're good?
Put it on and you're good to go.
Okay.
And they roll anywhere in the neighborhood of $9 to $10 a piece. It's a brass fitting, and it's very simple to screw on. And that's where compliance is gained.
Okay, so you guys have actually been going around having to do these inspections, correct?
Correct. We have a company that actually specializes in this. It's a vendor called HydroCorp. And the letters will come in a Township Water Department official envelope. There is a letter, 2-page letter there from myself, along with a lot of information that comes from our vendor with respect to why is the program mandated. Yeah, so we don't have a choice. No municipality does.
Right.
We all need to follow Public Act 399, and so it explains all the inner workings of it and the 2 aspects to it: protecting your garden spigot if it needs it,
Right.
And having your pressure vacuum breaker device tested once every 5 years.
Okay, so this project, like you said, has been going since, what, 2016?
Yes.
So how far are you into it?
We're probably about 70% through.
Okay.
And it's been pretty successful. And we just wanted to get a little more word out there, a little more show and tell, so folks can see this. And if they have any questions, please feel free to get a hold of us. You can email us at the Water Department, go on the website, and or look me up there too. And we get back with everybody at an earliest opportunity.
So the question, I guess, if I were to receive a letter that was 2 pages and see it's all about water and all this, it might make me kind of get nervous. But that being said, seeing this, it's really not that big of a deal, right?
It's not. There's an expense because you got if you're required to get 2 or 3 of these, it could be anywhere from $9-10 all the way up to $30 to protect your home spigots.
Right.
The test, on the other hand, to have a licensed and certified tester come out and actually do that, and there's a list that you can go on a website and pick out who you want, and we recommend you get about 3 different bids, or call and find out how much it is to come out. We've seen them range anywhere from $75 to $135 to have one tested.
Okay, but how important is it to have tested?
It's very important. Sometimes they've been sitting, they're very old, and the inner workings need to be replaced. So they're not working properly. And the reason that we're protecting and safeguarding your drinking water is because back siphonage can occur from a couple things. One, if there's ever a large fire, structure fire in your neighborhood, and our fire department needs to be flowing a lot of water when they make a connection off of an engine. It does create a backdraft of water because there's so much water moving at such a velocity and volume through those mains that it creates a back siphonage, and that will literally draw your water out of your plumbing of your home.
Really?
And back through your service lead underground to the water main. And it also takes into account if the sprinkler system is off or is on during your summer months, your watering months,
right.
That as well is very questionable water quality. It's been sitting with a longer residency time in it. The heads are a little lower in the grass. You can have pesticide, fertilizer, animal excrement. All these things can get back through into your plumbing and or into the water main. Okay. So that's what these devices do, is they sense that and they close that off so that none of that questionable water quality can ever come back into your drinking water.
Okay, perfect. So anyone has any questions, they need to contact you.
Yes, please do.
And where would that be?
You can get a hold of me at our township website. You can go to wbtwp.com and go to the water department, and you'll see my name and my email right there. Send me a line, and I will get back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, it's always interesting to see the pieces in person, because then you kind of know what you're dealing with.
Yep.
And that takes the mystery out of it, right?
Very much so.
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, we've been joined by Ed Haapala from the Water Utilities Department. Next on the show, we learn all about the role of school counselors on this week's episode of Parenting on the Go. Hi, welcome to Parenting on the Go. I'm Brooke Allen, and joining me today is Jennifer Burgick, counselor at Walnut Creek Middle School in the Walled Lake Consolidated School District. And thank you for being here today. So I guess the first question is, what does a school counselor do?
Professional school counselors today work a bit differently than the guidance counselors that parents may have had when they were in school. We use a comprehensive program that focuses on 3 different areas. We talk about career and college development, we talk about academic development, and probably most importantly, we work on social emotional development of children. And so we work with all the students in our schools to help them be well-rounded in all those areas.
Okay, so how do school counselors help students achieve all of that?
We approach it in kind of a three-pronged facet with those three different areas. We do a lot of proactive work by going into classrooms and teaching skills. For example, we may go in and teach a whole class lesson on a specific study skill that would be helpful to our students. We do, again, career awareness lessons and things like that. In the social emotional realm, we may be teaching students skills on stress reduction and different things like that. For students who have a little bit greater need, we may cluster them together in small groups that we meet with at least once a week to help work on skills that would be of benefit to them. And then a lot of students we work with individually as needed for whatever barriers they may have to learning.
I know when I was in school, it was kind of different. You always thought, oh, the counselor's office is down the hall, and you only went there if maybe you were called down to the counselor's office. But you actually see the students on a regular basis.
Right. Well, we try very hard to see all of our students individually, at least several times a year. It just depends on their needs and how often we can have access to them.
So how are school counselors different than social workers or even psychologists?
In the school setting, we have very defined roles. So a school counselor has access to all the students. All the students in the school are assigned to a counselor, and we may get to know a student over several years if they're on our caseload for several years. Whereas social workers and psychologists typically work with students with a defined need, usually through special education. But we all do work together as a team to help meet whatever the needs of the child might be.
So how long have you been a counselor?
This is my 23rd year.
Really?
Yes.
So how come you decided to be a counselor?
I started out as a teacher, as a music teacher actually, and I was in a real inner city district and saw that the social emotional needs of my kids were really strong, and so I just felt that was more where I could be of use to students.
So what should parents know about helping their students?
The most important thing I want them to know is that if you have any concerns at all, the first thing you can do is call your child's counselor. And also, I like parents to encourage their kids to get to know their school counselor. So seek out the counselor, even if it's just a friendly hello or get to know them in the hallway kind of conversations, because that way when needs do arise, the counselor is much more able to meet those needs and work with the parents and teachers to do whatever's best for that child.
So are there any additional resources out there that even students can know about or even parents?
As far as counseling resources? There's a very good website, the American School Counseling Association, and there are a lot of resources for parents on there on how to help your child and how to have a good relationship with your child's school counselor.
How often do you hear from parents?
Oh, frequently, through email, phone calls, and we really do work hard to create good relationships with our families so that when there is a need that arises, they feel very comfortable calling us.
And how about the student? Do you... Are students embarrassed to reach out to you, do you think? Or
no, because we've made it part of our school culture that it's just normal to get to know your school counselor, and we're in the classrooms doing things with the kids, so they see us kind of in just a more natural way. We're just a part of their everyday life at school.
So that stigma of going to the counselor's office is kind of gone.
Right. We make it a good thing to, it's good to seek out help when you need it, and we really encourage that in our school.
So that's a good point, to seek out help when you need it. How do parents really drill that into a kid's head?
I think it's through conversation. We start it early when they, I work in a middle school setting, so as they enter into middle school, we make sure that we're establishing that relationship with the kids and with the parents, that they know who we are, they know we're a resource for them, and we really do encourage them to call us at the first sign of any concern.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. And thank you for watching this episode of Parenting on the Go. And if you would like to look up more helpful parenting tips, you can visit the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance website at wbyouthassistance.org. For more episodes of Parenting on the Go, visit civiccentertv.com/parenting-to-go. And now it's time for our final segment, although today we're going to end the show a little differently because over the holidays, we here at Civic Center TV lost somebody special. George Moore, one of the founding members of Civic Center TV and the first host of Sidewalk Talk, passed away. On Christmas Day 2019, Civic Center TV lost a beloved member of our family. George Moore passed away at the age of 62. But before George found his way to West Bloomfield, he had an incredible broadcasting career spanning nearly 4 decades. It began at WDRQ in Detroit with our very own Dave Scott. He would then move on to Houston and settle in Los Angeles for nearly 20 years, where he worked as a DJ at some of the top stations in the market. After leaving LA, George came home to Detroit, where he would be known for his smooth style on V98.7 Smooth Jazz for Metro Networks. In fact, that is where George and I originally met. He eventually became the face and voice of West Bloomfield right here at Civic Center TV and for 89.3 Lakes FM, and even portrayed a judge in a locally produced motion picture. George was everywhere and all the time, interacting and instantly becoming a well-known member of our community. So let's take a look at some of George Moore in action.
Boy, do I get the great assignments from Civic Center TV. We are here with Cass Lake, the beautiful Cass Lake over my shoulder at Marshbank Park. Have you ever seen a hawk, a falcon, or an owl live? These are majestic predators of the sky. Hi, George Moore for Civic Center TV. We are right in the middle of the community once again here in West Bloomfield.
What was once undiscovered wild territory is now a thriving landmark township in the Metro Detroit area and one of the premier communities in Michigan to live, work, and play.
This is the case of the state of Michigan versus Tony Jack. After reviewing all the evidence in this case and hearing both attorneys, I'm ordering this case dismissed due to lack of evidence that the defendant committed this murder. Okay, we are here with the legendary local television icon here in the Metro Detroit area. Diana Lewis is here and participating, emceeing the events at the Friendship Walk for Friendship. Diana, it's so good to see you, and this is just an honor and pleasure to have you here.
Oh, God bless you. You look great. It's nice to be seen, I'll tell you. You're not all alone. You've got a community. You've got thousands and thousands of people who care, and we're out here today to make a difference.
Diana, thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you. Kisses. Happy holiday.
I'm in heaven. First of all, let me just make this point very clear. I love being out here. The people here in the community are so warm and friendly, and they're a very close-knit community. It might be a self-proclamation, but from what I see, I think they're right on point here. For Civic Center TV. For Civic Center TV. For Civic Center TV. For Civic Center TV. I'm George Moore.
George Moore was kind-hearted, funny, and a great broadcaster who loved being front and center. He touched so many lives and will be missed in so many ways. Thank you, George. That is it for this week's show. You can watch new episodes anytime online in HD at civiccentertv.com. Mondays at 5:30 p.m., Civic Center TV on Comcast 15 and AT&T Channel 99. Of course, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Civic Center TV. You can also listen to me weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m. on WWJ Newsradio 950. And for all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Brooke Allen. Thank you for watching The Splash.